Some people drift through life with wild carelessness, convinced they can shatter hearts and crush spirits without ever paying the price. They wear indifference like a shield, drifting from soul to soul, leaving behind trails of quiet ruin. They are hunters of the tender, leeches of the kind-hearted. They consume and consume, draining those who give fully and breathe softly. But every predator finds prey with fangs. Every storm collides with a mountain. They wounded the wrong soul, yours, and now the chaos they once commanded will rise against them. A beast, unchained, a storm without restraint. You were never like the rest. You offered with open hands, loved with unguarded heart, stood as a haven for those in need of warmth. You were the stillness in their tempest, the flame in their shadows, the balm for their wounds. Yet they confused your grace for frailty, your patience for permission. They assumed they could twist their games around you, manipulate your feelings, carve pieces of you to fill their hollow void. They failed to notice the iron core inside your softness, the steel hidden beneath your empathy. Now they begin to see, and the sight chills them to their bones. The storm they awakened was not outside, it was always inside you. They pulled at your threads, mistaking you for a puppet, never knowing they were tying their own noose. You gathered each betrayal, each falsehood, each deception, and you absorbed it. You became an alchemist of suffering, reshaping their venom into strength, their malice into resolve. You did not retaliate, did not seek vengeance in the shallow ways they hoped. Instead you sharpened yourself, hardened your edges, became a blade born in the fire of their treachery. Now you are not just stronger, you are lethal. When chaos comes, it is not thunderous, it is a subtle shift in the air, a quiet shadow spreading through the skies. It starts as a murmur, a creeping unease that crawls under their skin. They feel it, the change in the current, the fracture in their control. Their empire, once steady in their grip, now trembles. Their lies, once smooth to weave, now ensnare them. Their manipulations, once flawless, now collapse. The storm they face is not an outer strike, but an inner collapse. They are stalked by the truth that the tables have turned, that the predator has become the prey. You are not their chaos, they are. You became the mirror, casting their darkness back upon them. You no longer drink their poison, no longer cleanse their shadows with your light. You reveal what they are, force them to face the beast inside their own reflection. This is the storm they cannot outrun themselves. Their own sins resound against them, every betrayal a scar, every lie a fracture. In their mass they search desperately for someone to blame, but there is no one left. They chose the wrong soul, and now they drown in the storm. They summon people like them, never expect to face consequences. They have crafted their lives on denial, on twisting truth, on slipping through the gaps of responsibility. But you sealed those gaps, you are the unshaken wall against their endless greed. They find themselves trapped, every door locked by the truth. They sought to escape, the chaos coils around them, a snare of their own weaving. They begin to crumble, to thrash, to unravel. Their mind becomes a war zone, every thought a blade, every memory an explosion. You need not strike a blow, the chaos carries the battle for you. While they wither, you ascend. The storm rages, but you are the calm within it, still steady, untouchable. You walk ahead, your path firm, your vision pure. You do not glance back at the ruins, because they no longer bind you. You are not chained to their storm, you are far beyond it. They hurt you, yes, but they could not end you. They never knew that some souls, when cut, do not fracture. They forge, you are forged now, sharper, a sword of truth, piercing through their illusions. The chaos does not break you, it lifts you. Their kingdom crumbles in silence. The chaos erodes their comfort, turning their ties to dust, their peace to suspicion. They feel eyes follow them, whispers in darkness, the weight of fate pressing heavy on their backs. They long to play games, but now they are locked inside one, with no rules, no escape, no hope to when they awaken, too late to the truth. The chaos is not around them, it is inside them. Their sins stalk them, their choices chain them. They are both builder and captive of their own ruin. You become an echo in their mind, a warning that not all souls can be used, not all flames can be smothered. They revisit every memory, searching for the mistake where they misjudged you. The chaos gives no answers, only more shadows, more doubts, more dread. They thought you were theirs to control, but now they cannot control their own breath. When someone wounds a resilient soul, they unleash a storm that will consume them. A strong soul is not only unbroken, it is transformative. It drinks the darkness thrown upon it, turns it, burns it, and then returns it as fire. But this fire is not gentle or healing, it is a blaze that unmasks shadows, forcing the guilty to stand bare in its harsh light. Those who believed they could harm you and walk free are now learning the true cost of their betrayal. The universe, ruled by balance, begins to shift the scales, and they are dragged to face the shadows they sought to bury. Karma is not a myth or dream, it is a cosmic account. Every act, a signature, and debts are always claimed. When they wronged you, they signed a price their soul could not afford. They may have felt untouchable in that instant, watching their betrayal slice through your world, but every echo always returns to its source. Now as the waves of judgment crash against them, they begin to grasp the fury they unleash. The storm is not wild, it is deliberate, exact crafted to dismantle them from the inside out. They start to notice patterns. Everywhere the things they once commanded slip through their hands, bonds unravel, chances vanish. Their world fades to gray. The strong soul they wounded is no longer the center. This is not vengeance. This is the order of the cosmos, a design where every piece falls into alignment. The truth trails them sharp as a dagger, reflecting their own cruelty back at them. They search for comfort but find only mirrors, each one revealing the monster they became in the act of trying to break. You strong souls do not crave payback, but their essence is transformative. When you were wounded, you did not strike back. You carried the weight, letting it shape you into something unyielding. Unyielding, you gathered the chaos and turned it into focus. While they faltered, you centered your core. While they scrambled in the dark, you stepped forward, leaving imprints of honor. You became the stillness within the storm they birthed. And now as the chaos rebounds upon them, they see that their ruin is not from your hand but from the truth they refuse to face. The karmic order is not swift, it builds slowly, a furnace of reckoning. At first they shrug off the omens, a mischance here, a weakened bond there, but the universe waits. It applies weight piece by piece until the fractures begin to spread. The small losses grow into disasters. The lies they spun ensnare them. The trust they drained evaporates. Their world becomes a spiral of mistakes, each step a reminder that the ground beneath them is fractured. They are not cursed, they are haunted. Their own shadows begin to devour them. The schemes, the deceits, the betrayals, all the darkness they hurled at you now circles back to claim them. They sense danger in empty rooms, hear blame in silence, feel eyes staring even when they are alone. Paranoia roots in them, every move stained by the dread of exposure. They are not terrified of you, they are terrified of the truth. The strong soul they believe they could exploit has become a phantom in their mind, a sign that every action carries a debt. The chaos is internal now, their mind a labyrinth, each thought a snare. They try to reason, to invent stories to excuse their crimes, but the karmic tide has no mercy for alibis. They are left with only their own spirit, a tribunal that cannot be bent. The nights drag long, the dark no longer shelter but a cell. Rest escapes them, and when it comes, it is heavy with visions. They see your face not as a threat but as evidence. You are the testament of their deeds, a shadow of justice they cannot banish. As the chaos clenches tighter its grip, they begin to seek redemption. They reach out desperate for pardon, for a chance to rewrite the story, but strong souls do not crave closure. They created, you have already risen, built a world where they hold no weight. Your silence becomes their cage, your absence a punishment harsher than any words could ever deliver. They realize too late that forgiveness was never yours to offer, it was theirs to earn, and they failed. The chaos now clings to them, a constant echo of the peace they could have held but shattered with their own choices. While they sink, you ascend. The chaos shrinks to a distant storm, a memory of what you survived. You are not spiteful but sovereign. Your power is not about destroying them but about elevating beyond the pain they gave you. You are living proof that harming a strong soul is a perilous gamble, because strong souls do not avenge, they illuminate. They mirror back the energy handed to them, and those who sinned darkness only drown in it. You are the stillness after the storm, the flame that endures when everything else turns to ash. The universe is the eternal record keeper. It may not move quickly, but it never forgets a balance. Every cruelty, every betrayal, every scar carved into another is a mark in the cosmic ledger, a burden that will one day demand payment. Those who wander through life, consuming others, shattering hearts, and sowing chaos, often imagine they are untouchable. They mistake the silence of the universe for approval. They confuse the delay of justice with the absence of accountability, but the universe is a silent predator. Its justice lands when the soul is weakest, when the masks slip and the spirit is exposed. When they wronged you, they felt victorious. They watched as you faltered, as your world shook, and they mistook your suffering for their triumph. They believed they had stolen the narrative, cast themselves as the savior, and left you as the forgotten casualty. But the universe was watching. It pierced through their disguise, the cruelty disguised as charm. It recorded not with anger but with an unshakable decree. What they gave would return, not as a faint echo but as a title. Reckoning karma is not bound by straight lines. It does not always knock on the same door it left. When the universe comes to balance its debts, it chooses the path of deepest impact. Those who shattered hearts may wake to loneliness. Those who spread lies may see truth sharpened into a blade. Against them, the universe knows their weak spots, the exact places to cut where the pain will linger longest. The wounds bleed deepest. They wronged a strong soul, and now the universe is arranging their judgment. A story they cannot alter, an ending they cannot escape. The timing of cosmic justice is brutal by intention. It never arrives when they expect, when they brace themselves, when they feel powerful. It strikes in the quiet moments when life seems whole, when they believe they are safe, when they have finally convinced themselves they escaped The universe waits until they sit in comfort, until they chase new dreams, until their guard slips, then the ground opens the truth, erupts the lies, collapse, and the pain they delivered returns to them, sharper, colder, and utterly without mercy. They begin to feel it, the walls closing in around them, the paths that once welcomed now vanish, the ties they trusted begin to fracture, the support they relied on dissolves into silence. They cannot grasp it at first, believing it is misfortune, a season of trials, a test of their endurance, but the universe does not. Traffic and accidents, every locked gate, every burnt bridge, every wasted step belongs to the design. They are being led into a maze of their own making, with no way to escape. Dread grows as the world contracts. They realize too late that the chaos they once unleashed outward now coils back upon them. The universe reflects their cruelty, mirroring each betrayal, each falsehood, each selfish choice. They scramble to outrun it, bury themselves in noise, craft new masks, but truth is unyielding. It leaks through the cracks, hisses in silence, shadows every movement. What they inflicted upon you now crushes them, a burden they cannot drop, a nightmare they cannot shake. You instead have become the embodiment of divine return. While they crumble, you ascend. The wounds they dealt did not weaken you, they remade you. Turned each scar, each injustice into strength. You learned not to hunt vengeance, but to trust the timing of the universe. You became the calm within chaos, the stillness in the storm, the proof that strong souls are not merely survivors but conquerors. Your story turned from grief into victory, and while they sink, you rise, held steady by the fire of truth. Their fear mutates into desperation. They reach back, fumbling to restore what they destroyed, offering pleas and explanations, but the universe allows no shortcuts. Redemption cannot be seized with hollow words, but with real change, and they arrive too late. You are out of reach, your life too full of clarity and light for their darkness to enter. They come to see the universe is not cursing them, it is simply weighing the scales. What they stole from you, fate now reclaims from them, and the emptiness is suffocating. The justice of the cosmos is a quiet ruin, no sweeping gestures, no sudden unveilings, only the steady collapse of what they prized most, the trust of others, the balance of their world, the peace of their soul. They drift like ghosts through their own lives as strangers. The homes that once felt safe are stripped of warmth, the faces that once trusted now pierced through the facade lies, yet the truth hunts them down. Every whisper of existence a reminder of what they destroyed and why. When someone wounds a pure and powerful soul, they ignite a chain reaction inside their own mind. At first it tastes like triumph, the illusion of dominance, the thrill of shaping outcomes, the cold satisfaction of standing above. But beneath this mask a storm begins to rise. This storm is called cognitive dissonance, a brutal conflict where one's actions rip against their inner core. They may defend their betrayal, crown themselves savior of a false tale, but the subconscious is a merciless executioner. It does not release, it does not pardon, it keeps records, and when the weight grows too heavy, it unleashes torment from within. Cognitive dissonance is not mere unrest, it is a rupture of the self. Those who live in dual faces, who smile while they stab, who scheme while they embrace, build a world of glass, and every deceit is a stone pressing down. When they hurt you, they believe themselves beyond reach. They thought the world would bend to their illusion, that their lies would solidify as truth, but truth is unyielding. It crushes the falsehood, opening fractures, and when those cracks spread too far, the psyche starts to splinter. They are shackled by their own treachery, the same chaos they unleashed now multiplying in their skull. They lose their grasp on solidity, the stage they created where they were untouchable, where consequence did not exist, begins to implode. Cognitive dissonance hisses their sins back to them, every selfish choice, every vicious word, every betrayal. They taste no rest, not in dreams, not in solitude, not even in escapes they once used to smother their guilt. The mind turns into a labyrinth of torment, every path dragging them back to the truth they buried. They drift through their existence haunted, stalked by the ghosts of what they did. The disquiet they bear is not a storm that passes, it is a drowning tide. They try to escape it, to bury silence under noise, to justify with excuses, but cognitive dissonance is a predator that does not tire. It rips off disguises, breaks every facade, and leaves them bare. They are forced to see themselves not as savior but villain, and the truth seeps like venom through every corner of their life. Their ties unravel, their purpose decays, their reflection turns hostile. They thought they could harm you and walk away, yet they are ensnared, every step sinking them deeper into collapse. Unrest of the mind is war without cease. Those who wound others often end up fighting their own nightmares. The mind, once sanctuary, becomes a prison of terror. They flinch at memories, they dread silence and find no comfort in joy. They drive people away, not because they lost desire for touch, but because they cannot endure being seen. The terror of being unmasked grows not just externally, yet within them the terror that they may finally confront the truth of who they are. They struck the wrong soul soul, and now their spirit rots poisoned by the same darkness they tried to bury. You in as the storm inside them rises, it bleeds into the world around them. The distance between the mask they wear and the shadow they hide grows cracks in their foundation. They turn unstable. Erratic small annoyances feel like betrayals, minor failures like curses. They explode blind to the truth that their enemy is not the outside, it is their own reflection. The torment they once planted in you now festers inside them, a leech, draining their calm, a serpent winding through their thoughts, squeezing tighter with every falsehood they stack to cover the one before you. In contrast, ascend above their ruin while their sanity crumbles. You create while they sink into madness. You uncover truth, the wounds they dealt forge your fire, and now you stand as tempered steel, sharp and indestructible. You do not hunt their collapse because destiny already charts it. You remain unmoved, knowing those who injure others are undone not by fate's punishment but by their own hand. They design their misery brick by brick while you embody that true strength is not merely weathering destruction but flourishing beyond it. Their path twists into a warning story. Masks slip, friends withdraw, doors close, and they awaken to emptiness, haunted only by the echoes of their sins. Unrest of the mind begins to poison the body, sleepless nights racing, fear a weight they cannot cast off. They search for aid, even pity, but existence does not reward those who run from responsibility.